So in today's video, we'll be looking at how to get a teal and orange look using a LUT that you can download for free. So first go to Google and search for Sedona LUT and go to the first link and download it. Once you have downloaded it, go ahead and unzip it, and then you need to install this Q folder to your software. Now I use Resolve, so open Resolve, click on the gear icon, and under color management setting, you're going to click the open LUT folder and you're going to paste it here. And then click on the update list and save it. Now let's start creating. So first let's go to the project settings. Now under color management, you're going to set the color sense to DaVinci YRGB and the timeline color space as DaVinci White Gamut Intermediate. And for our color output color space, we're going to select Rec 709 Gamma 2.4 and our 3D lookup table interpolation as tetrahedral. And also check this make broadcast set and save it. Now let's go to the color page. Then we're going to create few nodes. Onto the first node, go to the effects panel and search for color space transform and drop it. We're going to call it CST in. And onto the last node, we're going to drop it again and we're going to call it CST out. So for our CST input, we're going to select the input color space as sgamma.3.scenario and the input gamma as Sony S-Log3. Now if you have a different camera, then you're going to use that settings here. So in our output color space, the input color space is going to be DaVinci White Gamut, input gamma as DaVinci Intermediate, output color space as Rec 709 and output gamma as Gamma 2.4. So in this case, we work on a pretty large color spectrum. So we will be doing our main primary adjustment here and we're going to drop a LUT outside this node. So let's go to the second node and call it exposure, and we're going to adjust our exposure using the HDR global. Then go to the primaries and adjust the gamma and gain here. Next node going to be our white balance. As you can see, they are pretty much being outcast in this footage, so we're going to go to the offset and I'm going to push a magenta to it. For our next node, we're going to call it saturation. Then right click and then go to color space and then select HSV. Then uncheck channel 1 and channel 3. Then adjust the gain. Then we're going to add some contrast using a S-curve. Go to the curves and add a S-curve to it. When you are done, let's move on to our second node, and here we're going to apply the LUT. So click on the last node, in this case the 7th node, and right click and add a layer node. We're going to call our 8th node as LUT and then go to the LUT page. Now feel free to choose any of them and try to use the standard one, not the log or version 2 log or the vlog one, because we're not in the log space anymore. So for this video, I think the FX700 STD is pretty good, or the version 2, because I like it. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to apply that to the current node. So as you can see, the LUT add a lot of contrast which we don't need anymore. So go to the composite mode and change it to color. Now we're going to add a new node. So for this footage, I think that our main subject should be this goat. So I'm going to the windows and add a circle window here. I'm going to feather it out and then I'm going to invert it. Then I will go to the curves and I'm going to darken out our background so our subject will stay in focus. I will adjust the exposure again. And optionally you can add a vignette. Change the operating mode here and adjust the parameters. And there we go. We got our first grid, so let's right click and grab a still. Now let's go to the second node and we're going to apply it. As you can see, it doesn't look good, so let's change the LUT. I think this looks pretty good. Now let's adjust the exposure. Now we're going to do something about the skin tone here. So before focus, we're going to add a node and we're going to call it the skin. Now let's select the skin. Try to get a good selection here. Then draw marks to isolate it. Then track it. Once it's done tracking, let's look at our vector scope and make sure you have the show skin tone indicator turned on. And as you can see, it is pretty much far away from the line. So go to the curve and select hue versus hue. Let's get a sample. And now let's try to adjust it. Here the saturation is too much, so let's reduce it. Go to hue versus sat, get a sample and reduce the saturation. Once you have done, let's check the before and after. Now the white balance look pretty off, so let's go to the white balance, and again I'm going to take a sample, in this case this white portion of the shirt. Fix it. Feel free to add saturation if you don't. And we're going to grab a still. On to our next clip. Let's try to apply this. Let's take a sample for our white balance. And I think it looks good, but again I'm going to add the brightness to it. On to the next clip. Now we face a problem here. This footage is severely underexposed, so we need to fix it. Now when we are done, let's fix the skin tone again. So this pretty much look good. So let's grab a still and let's go to the next footage. Now here it actually doesn't match, so we need to adjust it. Now I think this part is pretty much distracting, so let's fix it. So let's add a new node and select our shirt, and then we're going to adjust it. So let's fix the shirt, and we're going to remove this texture from here. So go to Hue versus Set and select a sample and reduce the saturation of it. Also go to the Hue versus Loom and add some luminance to the dark side. Loom versus Set and adjust it. And here's the before and after. Before moving, let's adjust the skin tone again. Now let's apply this. For this footage, we have to change the white balance again. So I'm going to get a sample from this shirt. Then I'm going to adjust it. Here I'm going to adjust the white balance of the background, and I'm going to fix the skin tone as well. And there we go. So that's it. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you in our next video.